how to write when you're busy. Busy moms have been on my heart this week, maybe because I am one. And so often when we have a book idea, we have an article idea, we have a career we're trying to build, we have all these dreams, these things that are like weighing on us, burning inside of us that we want to pursue. And then if you are busy, whether it's with full-time work, whether it's with young children, whether it's with caretaking for um, a parent, there's all these things that demand our time. And so how to write when you're busy, I really encourage you to take that same advice to really focus on what's my next small step. What's the one project that I want to move forward? And what's my next small step for that project? And then just keep doing it, even if you're doing it in bits and pieces. Even if you have a small journal where you're just writing a few sentences a day, you're just jotting down a few ideas as you're waiting for your kids in the pickup line, as you're cooking a meal. Maybe you have a notebook next to you and you're kind of thinking about your work in progress as you're cooking. Or even at work, maybe you have a notebook as you go about your work day so that you're making room to capture those ideas, write, even if it's just a few sentences, because every time that you take a moment to write and to capture your ideas or even think about your ideas, you're sowing into the future of that project. So right now, your book may be just an idea floating in your brain, but every time you take a moment and write, it is like you are planting seeds, you're planting things that right now may look small, may look unimportant, may look like they're almost worthless. Like if you look at seeds, they look like dirt. They're just little dirt clumps. They could be mistaken for rocks. And when we take those moments, we can despise the moments. We can despise that it's not what we want. We can despise that it's not as much as we want, as big as we want, as flourishing as we want. And I want to encourage you, do not despise those small beginnings, as it says in Zephaniah, and keep writing even in those bits and pieces, those little moments, because they do add up and you are honing your voice, you're honing your ideas, you're honing your craft, even if your season is not one where you have uninterrupted hours every day to write.